Sripada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, Chapter 43. Description of Anagha Lakshmi, the Vaishnava Maya of Sri Sripada. Sri Bhaskara Pandit, after completion of worship during night, said like this: Swami, devoted worship of Sri Vidya is supreme. In fact, Sripada Sri Vallabha is the embodiment of Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, and Mahakali. Then I said, Swami, Sri Sripada is called an incarnation of Sri Padmavati Venkateshwara. Now, you are telling he is also the three mothers. He is also described as being accompanied with Anagha Lakshmi. I do not understand anything. Kindly explain in detail the corporeal form of Sri Sripada. Then that great Pandit said like this: Swami, it is said that God is there in all living beings. It is said that he pervades from an ant up to Parabrahma. So he is immanent in all creation in the form of creation. It means that he is identified in the consciousness of all living organisms. That is the speciality of this incarnation. Even though he exists as all living beings, in this creation his touch will not be experienced by them in any level. That only is his Vaishnava Maya. It is told that the courtesies, limits, and the related regulations in the creation are to be honored. When it is said that he was in the forms of Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, and Mahakali, it was meant that he is that consciousness which expressed itself in those forms. He is constantly identified with those entities through his Yoga Maya. When he is identified with the consciousness of Mahasaraswati, he will be in a state of oneness with the related four-faced Brahma. It is also mentioned that a single Atma emerges in 4 or 5 masculine forms. The Shakti principle of that Atma may be born in 4 or 5 feminine forms. It is said that the courtesies and the rules prescribed by Vidhi as to which female form is related to which male form have to be strictly observed. In the same way, he is Anagha, accompanied with his consort Anagha Lakshmi. That was his form of Ardhanareshwara, but in the form of Sripada Sri Vallabha, he is in the form of a hermit. He enjoins that the decencies and limitations of the forms with attributes are to be strictly followed. This is a nicety of dharma. Dharma is different and nicety of dharma is different. He is the form of creation to shower his divine grace abundantly. Since he is in a state of identification with creation, it means that the progress of humans will be accelerated. Sripada is absorbed in japa, meditation, and penance. He will not keep that result from penance for himself. He donates it to the entire creation. He dedicates the fruits of his penance for saving his devotees from sorrow and diseases and release them from the shackles of karma. The 4 powers of Jagannatha, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and Rajarajeshwari originated for the revelation of divinity and for the administration of the universe. Ambika has 3 levels, that is, transcendental level, universal level, individual level. Prior to the actual creation, Parashakti will be in the transcendental level. After attracting infinite realities in the Paramatma and after their entry in her consciousness, she takes birth as creation of the world. Her work is not completed with creation. Creating all living beings, she sustains them within her. She enters into them and strengthens them. This is her universal level, the real image of Anagha Lakshmi. At individual level, she exists as an intermediary between human personality and divine nature. That is the secret in the advent of Anagha Lakshmi form. She makes some potencies from her prime nature to incarnate. When the work is to be carried out by those potencies is completed, she again attracts them into her prime nature. Without the will of Anagha, Anagha Lakshmi will not even do a small work. she fulfills the will of her Lord. As she is both father and mother in the form of Sripada Srivallabha, plenty of grace will be there. Anagha Lakshmi mainly has three roles: the good, wise, and happy role, Satchidananda, belonging to the other globe. Here, worlds filled with infinite existence, infinite power, and infinite heavenly happiness abound. The jivas in that state live with complete perfection which defy any description and in changeless oneness. Below this Sachidananda plane, world belonging to creation of comprehensive heavenly consciousness exists. Anagha Lakshmi dwells in them as Mahashakti of divine consciousness. This world was described in Vedas as Mahashloka. In these worlds, actions will not meet with their failure. In every endeavor, Icha and Jnana Shaktis, that is, powers of will and wisdom, attain perfection effortlessly. There, all experiences are perfect oceans of bliss. There, floods, tides, untruth, pain, and misery cannot enter. Every form, every move, and every experience will be filled with joy. Below this is the plane of ignorance. Ignorance exists in our land. The worlds here are associated with mind, life, and bodies. All the experiences here are subjected to imperfection, limitation, and failure. Mahima, or the glory of Rajarajeshwari. The consciousness of Mother Rajarajeshwari was boundless mercy. She considers all as her children. Those who belong to Pranamaya, Manomaya planes relating to dark group are called asuras or giants. They have self-control, penance, and intelligence. They are arrogant. Those in the lower Pranamaya plane belonging to the dark group are called Rakshasas. They have terrible and extreme ideas and powers. In the still lower Pranamaya plane, other varieties of creatures live. They are called Pishachis or devils and Pramadas. The Maya of Asuras can assume any disguise. In fact, Pishachis are not individuals. They are the formation of shapes without minds to some desire or some greedy wish. Rakshasas have very strong Pranamaya state. They don't have mind. They try to devour whatever comes to their sight. Forms of Asuri, Kali, Shyama, and Mahakali. Forms of Kali, Shyama, and others are visible to us through Prana Maya Shakti. Kali is a destructive force. She is the nature's power in ignorance that chops everything into pieces in the dark and blind struggle when surrounded by difficulties. However, Mahakali belongs to a higher plane. She generally appears in golden hue. She is dreadful to asuras, that is giants, whereas Rajarajeshwari represents discrimination. Mahakali represents strength and power. In that great mother, overwhelming ferocity, intensity of great thought necessary for achievement, divine torture rushing to hack into pieces every limitation and obstruction shine. That which resides in Kali Shakti proceeds with terrible speed and will not keep quiet till we set our foot on God Himself. When forces hindering our progress becomes virulent, the devotees should invariably invite Mahakali Shakti into himself. The forms of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati in the levels of sadhakas or achievers. In Mahalakshmi, radiance of beauty is there. To achieve perfection of discrimination and strength, beauty should be there. It means that without it, perfection cannot be achieved regardless of our estimate as to our achievement. It means in some level a sort of equilibrium state is formed. We feel that it was perfection in that state. Nevertheless, when we go up to some more higher level, we get again some new strengths and new conditions. A fresh state of equilibrium to suit them is formed. In that state, a completeness or perfection is formed. Therefore, Mahalakshmi is a symbol of complete perfection. If perfection is achieved in discrimination but not in strength, it cannot be called perfect fulfillment. Therefore, in our complete perfection, four features, that is, discrimination, strength, beauty, and completeness prevail in their respective appropriate shares. Amicability between divinity and beauty is a mystery which cannot be known to man. This beauty is spread all over the universe. Only by the grace of Mahalakshmi, so many articles, forces, and living beings of infinite variety meet. All become unified. From a state of unity, happiness is derived. Mahalakshmi molds different articles, forces, and living beings as her forms and as layas. Mahalakshmi is the presiding deity of great love and bliss. However, Lakshmi represents only collection of material objects. Mahalakshmi is a great Shakti that shapes material objects, physical forces, and earthly beings suitable into an amicable heavenly bliss and grant divine life. However, if the strength of Anagha Lakshmi has to fully prevail, in addition to discrimination, strength and beauty, dexterity in work should also be there. In Vedas, there was a mention about Mother Saraswati. She is called as Udgita in Upanishads. She is also called Matangi in Dasa Mahavidyas. She is connected with Vaikari Vak. However, Mahasaraswati is different. She represents divine dexterity and actions of the consciousness of soul. By the mercy of this great mother, we obtain efficiency in conducting activities and know the uses of divine knowledge. Adoption of consciousness of soul to life will be known. It will be known how happiness can be derived by friendliness between many forces. Utmost care in all things which are far away from transformation and perfection, and even in small matters, belong to Mahasaraswati. Children, bliss is a matter related to the Supreme Lord, that is, Parameshwara. But a yogi experiences ecstasy. One who has no desires gets pleasures. Comfort is within the reach of all, but sorrow also accompanies it unavoidably. Forms of Anagha Devi and Anagha Datta. Devotees must practice Anagha Vrata. Lakshmi Devi is the form of Sri Anagha Devi. She possesses plenty of the traits of Rajarajeshwari, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and Mahasaraswati. Sri Anagha's form is that of Vishnu. He got the characteristics of Parameshwara and the Trinity. Therefore, worship Anagha along with Sri Anagha Devi confers all-round well-being. Anaghashtami Vrata should be performed by all Datta devotees. It is possible to get all auspicious things by performing this Anaghashtami Vrata. The greatness of Sri Pada and the greatness of Datta devotion. My dear boys, Anagha along with Sri Anagha Devi incarnated on the earth in the form of Sri Pada Sri Vallabha. He is very close to physical, mental, and consciousness of the soul of all living beings. He is Smarthrugami, that is, of the nature of one who responds immediately when called. He is omnipotent, who removes troubles and losses of all his devotees and dependents and grant them comforts of this and the other world. The result derived from worshipping Dasa Mahavidyas will be immediately received by worshipping Datta, who has incarnated in the form of Sri Pada Sri Vallabha. By worshipping various deities, auspicious results are definitely obtained, but worship of Datta, those auspicious results from those respective deities are quickly realized. As Datta is an embodiment of all deities, an incarnation of all 4 aeons, a glorious incarnation without end, this became easily possible. The glory of Sri Pada Charitamrita. My child Shankara Bhatt, this great sacred book, Sripada Shivallabha Charitamrita, written by you, will also be studied by great yogis and great persons. They understand it with the help of grammar of Sandhya language. The yogic experiences derived by them will be very strange and queer. If men in the physical plane make a devoted reading of it, they obtain comforts and auspicious developments of this and the other world. Every letter of this book is true. Every letter in this is filled with yogic power. Every letter is endowed with the power of seed letters. Same kind of result is granted by this sacred book in whichever language it is read, provided the reader has devotion and diligence. This is a letter form of that great Lord.